Hello everybody, welcome back to Daily Easy English Expression, the video. Oh yeah. So today we have a kind of a complicated expression, but I'll try to make it easy. The expression is this. Newspapers in and of themselves are useful, but inconvenient. Newspapers in and of themselves are useful, but inconvenient. What? We can reduce this. Newspapers themselves are useful, but inconvenient. So what does this mean? In and of themselves or just themselves? What does this mean? Well, remember, newspapers themselves, those two go together. So newspapers themselves. When we want to emphasize newspapers, just looking at newspapers, not other things, not, websites, not news channels on the radio, not news networks on TV, not newspapers, only newspapers. So when we want to emphasize the noun, our subject, we can say newspapers themselves, or newspapers in and of themselves. Newspaper, a newspaper, singular, in and of itself. Coach Shane, himself, Coach Shane, in and of himself, is a very active guy, but actually he's very old. So Coach Shane is active, but old. Yeah. I don't know why I gave that example, but that's the idea. So you will see this a lot, and as you practice with me, you're going to start hearing it a lot, and you'll recognize, aha, so we're just emphasizing on that noun, the subject, to emphasize it, to have people really focus their attention on the noun. We can say newspapers themselves. Coach Shane himself, not other coaches, but just Coach Shane, is active, but old. All right, let's check out the dialogue.
That author is so boring.
Oh, I thought the author did his best.
Me too. The subjects in and of themselves were boring.
Right. The author himself wrote his best. The topic itself was terrible. All right, so we have a little disagreement. Three guys. The first guy says, blah, the author is boring. The second guy says, the author was okay. The third guy says, me too, I think the author was okay, but the subjects that the author was writing about, the subjects in and of themselves were boring. So the author, the writer, he's a great writer, but what he was writing about, the subjects, were boring. And the other guy says, yeah, that's right. The author, he did his best, but the topic, the subject, was terrible. So again, just listen, shut your eyes and listen. The author is so boring. I thought the author did his best. Me too. The subjects, in and of themselves, were boring. Right. The author himself wrote his best. The topic itself was terrible. Okay? So I tried to use three examples. Subjects, plural, in and of themselves plural, author himself singular, author in and of himself is possible, but we reduce it. And again, the topic itself singular, the topics in and of themselves, we could make it plural too, which in the story might be better, but I wanted to show you examples. So, to be honest, this is probably a difficult expression to use easily and naturally. So I recommend you start reading, newspaper articles, online, newspapers, magazines, whatever, blogs, and start listening to podcasts in English and the news in English, and start listening to as many things as you can. And sooner or later, you're going to start hearing this expression. And it's a great expression. When you want to emphasize the subject itself, the subjects themselves, he himself, she herself, they themselves. Great way to emphasize your subject, okay? We learned these things in DDM. DDM is a listening class. We don't focus on grammar, but we do talk about expressions and the usage of English, how the Amerykański uses the English language. So it's a super excellent class. And now's a good time to join. If you haven't joined yet, get on it. DDM Live, right now I'm recommending this year DDM Live 17. Fantastic class. And you'll like it. We've got DDM VIP, which is also excellent. But they're all great classes. But if you haven't joined yet, you should do so. And then we got speaking. So DDM is all about listening, building your listening skills, learning how Americans speak, studying Americans' pronunciation, the culture, the phrases, the expressions. It's such a great class. Perf is all about the speaking, pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, flow. So if you want to start speaking like a professional American English speaker like me, well then Perf is the perfect class. And actually, we have many students taking both. They're excellent classes. And you're invited. You can get 11 lessons for free. www.letsmasterenglish.com/free. Sign up. 11 lessons and the newsletter. Pretty cool stuff. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
That author is so boring.
Oh, I thought the author did his best.
Me too. The subjects in and of themselves were boring.
Right. The author himself wrote his best. The topic itself was terrible.
That author is so boring.
Oh, I thought the author did his best.
Me too. The subjects in and of themselves were boring.
Right. The author himself wrote his best. The topic itself was terrible.
That author is so boring.
Oh, I thought the author did his best.
Me too. The subjects in and of themselves were boring.
Right. The author himself wrote his best. The topic itself was terrible.